Hey everyone, so I'm back giving another shout out to God. I was reading my daily bread and it says, when we are troubled by a persistent problem, one that goes on, view it as a rich opportunity, an ongoing problem that is like a tutor. It is always by your side. The learning possibilities are limited only by your willingness to be teachable. In faith, thank me for your problem. Ask me to open your eyes and your heart to all that I'm accomplishing through this difficulty. Once you have become grateful for a problem, it loses power to drag you down. That's just a little bit of what it says. So, from that, I felt a lot. Like, I felt a couple different vibes from it. One, I would say, speaking on my drug habit. I let my drug habit, it costed me jobs. It costed me loved ones. It costed me friends. It costed me cribs. It costed me myself. Myself, as in, it kept me in a depressed state, like all the time. It made no sense. So, I prayed about it and I was like, God, please deliver me, deliver me, deliver me, and I looked at people who were getting delivered from drugs, and had all of this time clean and, they seemed so happy. And I was just like, Lord, I just want to be like that, you know what I mean? In one aspect. And in another aspect, I was like, like, comforting myself, you know what I mean, with my drug use, making it like out to be okay in my mind. Like, it's okay, Gina. You know what I mean? You just doing this little bag. You know, people should be glad that you sitting down somewhere doing the bag, is what I would always say. You know what I mean? But in actuality, it wasn't doing nothing but keeping me from being loved and being able to love people. Uh, being able to keep a career, being able to keep my jobs, the great jobs that God's been sending me, it was affected by my drug use, so I gave it up and I'm choosing life now. I don't want to be that person that sits around and gets high and don't want to go to work and not spending time with my daughter, you know what I mean, because I'm high, or, you know what I mean, or just being, shut in, to myself because I'm getting high. Like, trying to basically isolate myself, like life is so much more than, going to work and paying bills and getting high, you know what I mean? Life for me, is doing the motivational speaking, is finishing my book, it's going to school, getting a career, advancing in my jobs, having my house by the time I'm 45, you know what I mean? Or 50 at the latest, but we're going to shoot for 45, you know what I mean? Like, all of those things can be accomplished, you know what I mean, without the drugs. With the drugs, it's just, it was not going to be a good thing, you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like I was never going to get there as long as I was doing drugs. So now that I'm like, I'm fresh with it, letting everything go, you know what I mean? True indeed. But I feel so much better now being clean and sober. I feel like, the possibilities that God has for me, you know what I mean? The things that God has for me, you know what I mean, are reachable now. Where before, like I said, doing drugs, I felt like, oh, I ain't gonna never have no house. I ain't gonna never have this. All I'm ever gonna do is struggle. You know what I mean? But no, Gina, I had to shake myself out of that and let myself know that no, I can have greater and I will have greater. I just got to learn my lesson and put some stuff down that's not good for me. And those drugs and alcohol were not good for me. It was nothing prosperous gonna come out of that. So I'm glad and I'm happy, you know what I mean, that I was able to kick that, you know what I mean, and every day is a struggle with it, true indeed. But I really feel like, that was it this time. I'm over that. You know what I mean? Like, I want more for my life than what I have been getting and what I have been doing in my life. So, and then another aspect of it is me, as far as the daily bread goes, is me. I've always ran around on 1,000. You know, your girl was like working 2 or 3 jobs at one time, you know what I mean? Like just running around trying to do everything for my daughter, trying to be at the school when she was in school, you know, like every other day. Then I'm trying to go see my clients, and I'm trying to go work in this warehouse, and I'm just trying to, you know, be with my people, you know what I mean? And like I just had so much on my plate, you know, and trying to run around. I was like, my mentor used to tell me, oh, you doing 1,000, you on 1,000 all the time, you need to slow down, you know what I mean? But I get it now, you know, she was right, you know what I mean? I was on 1,000, and I was like running around, and at the end of the day, you know, I would sit down and I would just cry because I was hurt and disappointed in myself that I didn't get to get everything that I was trying to get done. You know, all that running around, all of that jumping in and out the car, all of that, like, at the end of the day, I still missed out on things, you know what I mean? And the main thing I missed out on was God. So it's like now, you know, I feel like I'm in a better place now. I'm sitting down. The Lord made me sit down in green pastures. Look, that part, you know, so I'm grateful, you know what I mean, for me being able to sit down. It's giving me patience, you know what I mean? It's rebuilding my trust and my faith in God that He's going to move for me. He's going to make sure that the things that I'm not able to get done today, it's okay that it didn't get done. He said it's always going to be tomorrow. You know what I mean? Tomorrow is not promised to anybody, but I feel like, you know, if we're doing the right thing, you know what I mean, and God willing, you know what I mean, it will be a tomorrow, and we can handle that tomorrow, you know what I mean? But for today, the main thing is to do what you can do, you know, and what you can do is spend time with God. Give God the time, energy, and effort that He deserves. Like, and as long as you do that, the rest will come. Everything else will work itself out. As long as we put God first and we, you know, keep Him our number one priority, you know what I mean? He will handle everything else, all the bills, all of that, to the point where we ain't got to be running around with our head cut off like a chicken, you know what I mean? Like trying to get stuff done. So, you know, I just want to come on here and just let people know, you know what I mean? Like that I know that you guys are facing a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, every day. And some of it is repetitive. At some point in time, you know, we got to let go. Like I can speak of another, you know, situation, another problem that I have is, you know, trying to fix all my daughter's problems. You know what I mean? Like that's a problem. You know what I mean? For me, you know, as a mom, you know what I mean? You know, us mothers, you know, that motherly instinct type stuff, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me. Like, that's my only child, you know what I mean? She's 21, and I'm still like trying to fix everything, you know what I mean? I'm still trying to, you know, I'm still sacrificing or trying to sacrifice, you know, the things that I got going on, you know what I mean, to make sure that she's straight when I can't really, I need to stop that, you know what I mean? I need to be for me, you know what I mean? I can't be good for her if I'm not good for me. I can't do anything for her if I'm not doing it for me. If I don't have it for me, how can I have it for her? You know what I mean? So that's been a hard battle that I've been, you know, facing, dealing with, you know what I mean, here lately. Trying to cut that umbilical cord, you feel me, or whatever, you know. And so it's still a struggle, you know what I mean? But I'm going to get there. I believe in that, you know what I mean? And I've been praying and asking God to please, you know what I mean, take over, you know what I mean? You take care of her, you know what I mean? Help me to fall back, you know what I mean? And thus, why I feel like I have this this little job where I don't have the money to give her when she needs it, you know what I mean? I don't have a place for her to come and stay, you know what I mean? If ever she was to fall off, you know what I mean? Like He's making me, like He's humbling me, He's bringing me back, like sitting me all the way down, you know what I mean? Like, no, you know what I mean, Gina, I don't need you to do nothing for her. I got her, you know what I mean? And I know this within my heart, and for some reason I'm still struggling with trying to put my little 2 cents in, but I know that he's gonna dead that for me, you know what I mean? So I'm feeling really great. Like my interview went great today. My daughter got in a little situation, you know, with her little car or whatever, which is gonna be fine, you know. But I was still, you know, thinking, okay, if I can get this job and I can get started now, then yeah, in 2 weeks I can send her this, that, and that, you know what I mean? And God is like, no, boo, how about I'm gonna give you this job, but you ain't gonna be able to start until January the 8th. How about that? So you ain't gonna be able to help her with this situation, period. Pooh. And I'm just like, seriously, you know what I mean? Like, it hurt. But I thank him still, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be good, you know what I mean? So it's just helping me step up my faith and my trust in him that he's gonna work everything out for both of us, not only in my life but in her life, you know what I mean? He's going to help her to mature. He's going to help her to think and be able to handle situations on her own. I have raised her to be a great woman, a strong woman, and I brought her to God years ago. She got saved when we first went to Georgia about 5-6 years ago. She stood up and got saved on her own. You know, we got baptized. She'd never been baptized, so, you know, we got baptized and everything together. So I did my job. I brought her to him. You know, we pray together every day, twice a day, morning and night. After a while, you know, as she got older, then I started making her pray. You know what I mean? So I feel like I really did good. I did my job with her. You know, I brought her to him, the person that can take care of her better than I ever could, you know. And I'm speaking on this job again, you know, like I said, I'm grateful that I got the job. I'm confident and I'm grateful that my interview went well, and they said that you know, basically they not looking to start me until January the 8th, you know what I mean? So, and that kind of bummed me out a little bit because I really feel like I need the money now. But there again, that's just me rushing things, you know, and trying to be on 1,000 again, you know, going back to that, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, God is like, no, I'm not gonna let you go back to 1,000, you know what I mean? You've come down to about 500. I'm not gonna let you get back to 1,000, you know, nothing for nothing. I'm gonna try and bring you down from 500 to 200 to 100, you know what I mean? So that I can stay focused on him, and I appreciate it, you know what I mean? I've been praying, asking him for patience and giving me tolerance and strength and everything, you know what I mean? And slowly but surely he's been doing that, and I have to keep allowing him to do that, you know, as hard as it may be, you know what I mean? I have to keep allowing him to do that, you know what I mean? And staying in a positive mode so that I don't go back to the drugs, you know what I mean? I've had drugs put in my face here lately, and I didn't take it, you know what I mean? And I'm really proud of myself. Like I said, I'm fresh with it, you know what I mean? But every day that I'm clean, I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful, and I'm happy, you know, I am. And I really just hope that these videos that I post, you know what I mean, reach somebody, give somebody some strength, some encouragement, give them a real person to look at, you know what I mean, in a real life situation. Like I said, there again in my car, you know what I mean, with where I owe out at least $150 to people right now, you know what I mean? I owe like so many hundreds of dollars on my car, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here with less than a fourth of a tank of gas right now, and 2 packs of Pop-Tarts, and a half a bottle of water, and I got $5 to my name, but I'm still smiling right now. Like, and I'm not going back to that depressing state, to that stuck state, you know what I mean? I finally started making videos, whether they, you know, reach anybody or not, I don't know, you know what I mean? But that's for God. I'm doing what I told God I was going to do, to get my story out there, to get my experiences with him out there, to show people that, yes, this walk with God is not easy. It's not easy. It has to be something that you choose and mean it with your heart, because you will be tested in every possible way, because the devil don't want you to choose God. He don't want you to walk with God. He don't want you to be for God. And he gonna try and throw everything in they daddy at you, you know what I mean? Everything in they daddy. But we have to resist, and we have to know at the end of the day that, yeah, you trying to throw this at me, it's going to be all right. You want to know why? Because I got a father that's greater than you. You know what I mean? So get behind me, get under my feet, devil. You know what I mean? You're not stopping nothing, you know? And that's the attitude that we have to have. So, and I, you know, spoke to my daughter about that earlier today, you know, with her little car trouble. Like, you know, snap out of it, boo. You know what I mean? Like, believe in God. Like, we got a father. Like, she showed me how strong her faith was in God, which strengthened me, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. I normally be the one boo-hoo crying and stressing and stuff like that. So, to see her break is just like, no, boo, no, that's not what we doing right there. That's not what we doing. You know what I mean? Like, where's your faith at? You know what I mean? Come back. Come back. And at the end of it, I was like, yo, shake that off. Like, quit playing. You know what I mean? Like, God got your car to the shop, you know what I mean? He gonna get your car to the shop, you know what I mean? Like I said in my last video, you know what I mean? God creates everything before we need it, you know what I mean? So sent her a little friend in her life, you know what I mean? Because he knew that her car was gonna break down today, yesterday, you know what I mean? So he sent her a little friend that had a car that would be willing to follow her to the shop, you know what I mean? And he was knowledgeable to change her tire when they got about a half a mile from the shop, you know what I mean? She had to stop and pull over, and he had to change the tire, you know what I mean? So God will send people in our lives to help us through, you know what I mean, certain situations. Like I said, with my girlfriend in Maryland, you know, God knew that I was sitting in this car by myself, lonely, and he sent her to me to have somebody to talk to, you know what I mean? Because we weren't meant to be alone. And I'm thankful for that, you know what I mean? I'm thankful for her, you know what I mean? Yeah, she was all the way in Maryland, but she served the purpose that God needed her to serve in my life, you know what I mean? To help me keep going, to help me through, you know what I mean? And I would never forget that. I will always appreciate her for that, you know what I mean? Just like this little guy that was able to help Tay, help my daughter, with her car, get her car to the shop, you know what I mean? Like, and he basically put it to the point where Tay was off today because he knew in advance, you know what I mean? He knew when they was making out the schedule that, hey, wait a minute, hold on, Tay car gonna break down on this day, so let me go ahead and schedule her off for that day. So she ain't even got to worry about trying to get to work that day, you know what I mean? She can just get the car to the shop and just chillax, you know what I mean? Just chill, embrace me, watch that good video her mama gonna send her that I put on my Facebook page, and I'm gonna need y'all to go on there and look at that. You know what I mean? Like that little boy, he did his thing. You know what I mean? Little preacher in training, like not even in training, cause he just little preacher man. Like he did that. You know what I mean? And he uplifted me. You know what I mean? And a lot of us grown people. The things that he was saying. So, but anyway, I'm rambling now. But I hope you guys get it. You know what I mean? But I love you guys. I love my life. I love what God is doing. And I'm going to keep going no matter what. And I hope that you guys will keep going no matter what is thrown at you. Like I told my daughter today, like, quit playing. It's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. Our cars break down. A lot of times we got to give up our whole checks to get them out. You know what I mean? We pray that we don't. You know what I mean? But a lot of times we end up having to give up our whole checks. That's something that we don't have at that time. You know what I mean? In order to get our cars out the shop. You know what I mean? But God to make sure that it's okay. You know what I mean? At least we were in a position to give up our whole checks to get our cars out the shop. You know what I mean? Or whatever it may be. So just stay encouraged. I love y'all, and I will holler at y'all tomorrow.